Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Just 8:47 this morning in Johannesburg, South Africa. And looking at matters environmental, recycling is very, very important in today's world. And glass is one of those items that should be recycled. Now, the latest recently announced glass recycling rate in South Africa is 44%. And this is according to the Glass Recycling Company, which revealed the increased rate during its seventh annual Green Dialogues, which was held virtually on Wednesday last week. I'm joined now by Shabir Jetem. He is the CEO of the Glass Recycling Company. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Salam Media.
Walaikum salam. Very good to be on Salam Media, sir.
All right, so Shabir, tell us the importance of recycling and in particular glass. What role does it play in assisting the earth in today's environmental dangerous times?
Well, glass recycling has numerous benefits, and one of the most significant benefits is the more recycled glass you use, you run your furnaces at lower temperatures. So, the impact of that is you reduce your energy demands and your carbon dioxide emissions. Now, this leads to greenhouse gases, and we know we are battling a global crisis because of global warming and the impacts thereof. So by recycling glass, we need less, we use lower energy, we run our furnaces at lower temperatures, and that definitely leads to a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. We have seen over the years what has happened. We've been having very floods around the world. We've been having droughts in South Africa a few years back, and it's really changed what has to be done. So it's really imperative that it's not only glass recycling, but other recycling that has a significant environmental impact. That's just one of the environmental impacts. The other environmental impact is a reduction in water pollution, as well as, and also saving on landfill space. I'm sure you would be aware in South Africa, we're rapidly running out of landfill space, and we want to prevent as much glass from entering our landfill, but rather being recycled into new glass packaging.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you look at the social behavior of people, South Africa compared to other countries around the world, have we taken it seriously, glass recycling? Are we beginning to understand the importance of getting involved in recycling and in particular glass?
Certainly, there has been a significant uptake towards recycling in South Africa. We have seen the glass recycling rate improve from a very low 18% to 44% currently. However, there's still significant amounts of apathy amongst people in terms of glass recycling, especially the higher income groups. There's two kinds of people who recycle glass. The one is the higher income group who do it because it's good environmental behavior. However, where the majority of glass and other materials are recycled is from the lower end market, where people collect these recyclables, including glass, and sell it to buyback centers or drop-off centers where they earn a source of income. So, albeit that we have spent significant amounts of funds in terms of communication, changing mindsets, it has helped significantly, but we still need people to be more active in terms of recycling.
And then the glass recycling company, if you look at the amount of glass, the quantity that you've managed to recycle, to take out of the used system, to reproduce it, regenerate it, whatever, and send it back out there as usable glass, how much have you actually managed to do?
Well, in terms of all your new glass packaging in South Africa has in excess of 40% of recycled glass. To the average person, one wouldn't know that it has recycled glass, but one of the real benefits of glass is it can be recycled infinitely. So it's a closed loop system, which is in line with the circular economy. And in addition to that, glass is used to manufacture glass. So there's no wastage whatsoever. And as I indicated, all new glass packaging has a high recycled content of glass. And using recycled glass does not affect the integrity nor the quality of the new glass manufactured from recycling glass. In fact, this is best international practice.
Now, if we have to quantify that, I mean, if you put it in numbers, the the tons, or or how many kilograms of glass uh, do you actually manage to recycle?
In Azhar, in the last year, we managed to recycle in excess of 400,000 tons of glass.
Wow,
That's a
that's a
significant
lot.
amount. But I'd
Yes.
also like to add to that, we have two types of glass packaging in South Africa. As you would know as well, certain bottles are returnable. And as a result of the returnable glass bottles, which are come back into the system, goes back to the brand owners who refill them, and the glass that we recycled. Of all the glass that's placed into the South African market annually, in excess of 80% is prevented from entering our landfills, which is already under significant pressure. So, putting it rather simply, at least 8 out of 10 bottles that are put into the market do not enter landfill. They are either recycled or they come back into the system to be refilled with new product.
And then the use of, or the creation of jobs through the recycling procedure. I've always seen, people walking down the roads, having these huge bags, carrying them along, they collecting different items, and they're doing it because it creates a living for them. How important is glass as a product in that employment cycle?
Glass is important in the sense that we have done research not too long ago, and what we have ascertained, there are actively 50,000 people who collect glass to earn a source of income. However, besides glass, they do collect other recyclables as well, because while you're picking up glass, there's plastics there, there's paper and other recyclables. But purely from a glass perspective point of view, we have at least 50,000 people who collect glass to earn a source of income. However, as a couple with that, we set up buyback centers primarily in townships to create businesses, small to medium businesses owned primarily by black-owned businesses, and they in turn buy glass from the guys you see that are pushing the trolleys. So we've created a complete inbound supply chain solution where a person who collects glass has a place to then sell it instead of walking for tens of kilometers, and then it eventually gets back to the glass manufacturers to manufacture new glass bottles and jars.
And when you say back to the manufacturers, I mean, if I take a soft drink glass bottle, and that thing cracks up and breaks, and then it eventually goes through a process, what can it become thereafter? Does it become another Coke bottle or a cold drink bottle, or does it become, something totally different? Does it become an ornament,
Well,
maybe?
it could become anything, but in South Africa, what happens is all the glass. Let's take a Coke bottle as an example, as you indicated. It will go back into. It will be cleaned. It will be sorted according to the colors, and once it gets back, it goes into the furnace. And that could produce a juice bottle. It could produce a water bottle. It could produce a Coke bottle. It could produce a jar. It could be produced into a jar for mayonnaise or a bottle for tomato sauce. It could go into various uses. But the important thing to take note is it goes back into making glass packaging and not anything else. As I indicated earlier, it is a closed loop system. So glass, waste glass that is collected goes back to make new glass packaging. And we're talking purely glass packaging, which is bottles and jars.
Shabir Jatam, as we begin to wrap up the interview this morning, uh, what would your final advices and final words be regarding the recycling of glass and looking after our environment?
Yeah, well, thank you for affording me the opportunity. It's really simple. We have in South Africa over 4,000 glass banks. So people can then put their glass into these glass banks. To find your location, one can visit our website to find your nearest glass bank. It's www.tgrc.co.za. You go into your province, you go into your suburb, and it will give you your closest glass bank.
Shabir Jatam, CEO of the Glass Recycling Company. I'm sure people can find you online as well. Thank you so much for the time this morning and for enlightening us about the importance of glass recycling. In fact, perhaps I should take you up on this idea of sending a team down with a video camera and detailing the actual process of recycling glass. I'm sure it's quite an amazing procedure that the glass needs to move through. It would be wonderful
Yes,
to be able.
That would be a wonderful opportunity. It's a bit difficult with COVID, but we'd love to take you to one of the plants and go through the entire process of how glass is recycled. That will be an
You go
absolute
well.
pleasure.
I mean, you go well. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.